Moonwalk, Shave, Tempest Kick, Iron Body, Paper Art, and Finger Pistol seem to be the 6 moves of this 6 powers martial art.
One Piece chapter 348, Fighting Power.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and thrilling and water-filled and 6 powers-ridden tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with, starting up the next volume over here, starting up volume 37, and really it just kind of being a futile effort on the part of the would-be rescuers. I was hoping that it was going to come in and there was going to be a nice fight, and honestly, they're just way overmatched. The Straw Hats are. This finger pistol move that was done. I mean, Luffy was all but incapacitated when he tried to do something. Couldn't land a hit on Lucci, and Paulie was nailed with this finger pistol, which, like I said, sounds kind of dirty, but I guess it's not. Anyway, the chapter ends with, of course, them finding out that, they've got 2 minutes before the whole mansion's going to go up in flames, and them with it. They've, of course, got to get past the CP9 agents first. So that's where things left off. That's where things pick up. And, they're talking, and it's funny because at first you get Nami in one of the first panels in the pages. She's just like, posing as undercover agents and doing whatever you want with lies and manipulation, this and that. She's like, well, that's done in such bad form or bad taste, And they're just like, I don't know if it's Kaku or Lucci. One of them's just like, you're already pirates, so it's not like, I'm sure that your reputation will be okay. I'm sure it's not going to inconvenience you too much, So what we wind up having, really, this chapter should have been called like, try to save Robin. Robin doesn't want to be saved, or at least she's not letting on that she does, but Robin's going to be the first one to go in and take off and kind of exit stage left, And she's going to go and take off, and as that happens, Luffy is going to try to go towards, and he winds up trying to go and hit that Blueno guy, right, who's huge. And you wind up seeing some of their different powers in action. I mean, obviously that Iron Body thing, I'm going to be honest with you, the shit's getting really old, okay? Because when these moves come at you, I know Luffy telegraphs it with gum, whatever. But, you have to be able to have at least a second to think to be able to go and do this Iron Body thing, to iron up your body. And, it just, every time somebody comes out, Iron Body. And after just a few chapters, it's already getting old. But anyway, we wind up seeing this Blueno, and then he does this other thing called Paper Art, where he goes and makes himself pretty much like thin as a paper, and is able to dodge a bunch of incoming punches from Luffy's Gatling gun, And so don't get me wrong, these things are neat, but I guess it's frustrating to me because, obviously in a tale like this, you want to see the main characters. Yes, sure, they have challenges that they have to overcome and everything else, but I don't like it when it's so skewed in one way that you just have no chance whatsoever. We saw a lot of that in Skypiea with the stuff with Enel or Eneru or whatever you want to call them. And it was kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? After a while, you were just like, okay, you're just so ridiculously overpowered. And that's at least right now in these chapters what it seems like, that the Straw Hats are just so overmatched, Zoro winds up eventually jumping in and joining the fight, and him and Kaku are going at it, fighting with each other. And we see a number of different moves from them. We wind up getting that, as Luffy goes to use a pistol on that Blueno, a gum pistol on that Blueno, all of a sudden he does this move called Shave, and we saw Lucci do that in the last chapter as well. And Luffy's like, yeah, no fair, you're disappearing? He's like, no, I wasn't disappearing. I just moved so fast because my legs are so strengthened that you couldn't see me, right? So basically it's like being able to like teleport, but you're not really teleporting, you're just moving faster than the eye can determine. So then Luffy goes to nail him again, and then he goes and he does this moonwalk, and we saw a few chapters ago too when Kalifa, we didn't know who she was with the whip, she was bouncing around on midair. Their legs are so strong that they can actually go and push off of invisible tufts of air that are in the just around them as well. It's making them pretty much float or bounce on air, And again, very cool stuff, but at the same time, you're just thinking, son of a bitch, this is too much, it's too much for him. So then we get an explanation, I believe it's from Lucci, or maybe it's from Blueno, one of these two blowhards, winds up talking about that's what the 6 powers is all about. It's about mastering these 6 powers, and they're the elite fighting force for the government and everything else. So I'm assuming that each power, they all have, each one of them possesses those 6 powers. And we know about the finger bullet, right? We know about the finger bolt, we know about the shave, the Moonwalk, the paper move, paper art, whatever that's called, and then of course the iron body. So I have no idea if those are 5 out of the 6. I'm hoping that they are, and that there's one final 6th move that we're going to see, and who knows, you know, maybe they can transform into a dragon, I don't know. But anyway, as Robin's going to leave, because she's the first one that's going to exit while everybody else is kind of covering her retreat, and Luffy was going at Blueno, and then you had, of course, Zoro trying to come in. Zoro came in and then started fighting with Kaku, and then he's like, Luffy, you know, use this chance now to go, you know, get Robin, get her, you know. So Zoro obviously believes, too, that there's more than meets the eye, and that Robin didn't just go and all of a sudden up and turn on them. And I kind of like that. Because, honestly, Zoro has been very apprehensive and very wary since Robin got on the boat. And really, for the most part, many times was kind of the only voice of reason of like, hey, I don't know if we should trust her. And so you're seeing that he has a feeling about that, too, you know. So, nonetheless, though, like I said, they talk about their skills being honed, you know, to super perfection. They've been training as long as they can possibly remember. And that's why they're this elite fighting force, and they have this 6 powers, this martial art that they've mastered, this 6 powers. So as Luffy's going to try to get Robin, Lucci just winds up going and just grabs him and is just holding him by the face, you know. Luffy's powerless to do anything. Zoro winds up getting a finger bullet from Kaku because Kaku's like, oh, never take your eyes off your opponent. You must be overconfident or so confident, this and that. And he winds up doing one of his cheap-ass moves and then the finger bullet. And as far as I'm concerned, they're all kind of cheap-ass moves. I mean, some of them are just ridiculous, you know. Oh, I can be impervious to any type of harm just by saying iron body and concentrating, you know. And then I can go and stay shave, and my legs are so powerful I can move faster than the eye can see, and then give you a finger bullet right in your ass, you know. Oh man, it's just like I said. I think it's so much. It's not that I don't appreciate the creativity of them. They're very cool. The characters are very neat. It's just, you know, anytime we have somebody that opposes the Straw Hats, I'm not a big fan, and especially when it's so skewed in one direction. You know, they're obviously going to meet up again. They're going to fight this and that. But you know. It's just frustrating to go and to see these characters that you know and love pretty much be powerless and helpless to do anything. Now, the thing that got me, though, is that you got this whole melee kind of mosh pit sort of deal going on. You know, Paulie and Iceberg are pretty much down for the count. We know Nami can't do a whole ton of stuff over here, but Chopper can go and bulk up and at least make an attempt. And Chopper's still just kind of standing there with Nami, like in awe and wonderment of how Zoro and Luffy are getting their asses kicked and how they're so overmatched, you know. So that's frustrating to see, too, I think. But anyway, the chapter winds up, Robin does wind up getting away, and then Kalifa says, listen, you know, and she tells Lucci, you know, we got to get out of here. This place is going to go up any second, you know, in flames. And then he goes, and the chapter ends with him saying, okay, but I may not get another opportunity like this anytime soon. Here, that's what he says. But Vice is about to detonate. We have to hurry. Let's see here. Yeah, but a chance like this may not come again. Why don't I show you something interesting as this draws to an end? And then you kind of get everybody like, huh? You know, they all got that look on their face. And then you just see like a shadow of, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if he was able to summon something or he was able to change himself. Maybe that's his 6th power, maybe? I don't know. He's changed himself into some kind of big horned looking animal, gorilla, cheetah, I don't know. Dragon, maybe? No. But anyway, so that's where the chapter winds up ending off for us. And really, very cool stuff, man. And like I said, before anybody gets to trying to go and beat me down and demean what I say in the comments, well, you don't understand. I do understand. I understand the story better than many people do. Trust me. I understand, and I pick up on a lot of the little things. I choose to go and side with the Straw Hats, for instance, in the case where, you know, I don't care if one of them used to do this and this and that, and now I'm comparing something I see another person doing now, and I say that they're crap or they're garbage or they're scum. They are, because they're not one of the Straw Hats, in my opinion. And that's all it is. I read this and watch the anime, and I enjoy the tale, I enjoy the world, and I enjoy following this group of characters. So I don't ever want to see anything bad happen to that group of characters. When I see something or someone that opposes them, usually I do not like that person or that whatever that person stands for because of them opposing the Straw Hats. So that's exactly, you know, what I feel about this. I feel that they're extremely overpowered with this 6 powers martial art they know. And I also feel like it kind of sucks because nobody's even been able to land a hit on one of these guys, you know? And I mean, yeah, fine, so you get beat, but at least get beat with some dignity and maybe get a blow in here or there, you know? So that's just what I would have hoped for. I just hate seeing them get so handily and so easily defeated because it's so demoralizing, and it really is. It's almost depressing. You know, you get done and you're just like, oh, God, What a downer, you know. So, anyway, my chapter question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is really, I mean, it has to kind of do with that. What do you think about, you know, the 6 powers, which I asked in the last chapter? But what are your thoughts on it being on these CP9 agents just being so ridiculously overpowered, at least at this point in the story, that it seems like there'd be no hope for the Straw Hats, period. You know, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on? I mean, I guess it's just in general. You can go with any manga or anime or anything that you watch or read. What are your thoughts on when you see someone that's just so overmatched against their opponent, and their opponent just seems to be able to know every move they're going to pull and be able to have a counter for it? Let me know what your answer to that is in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even other channel. Right now.